Two long years. 2 long years with no schooling, no games, and no social gatherings. A slight relief to this came in last November. The schools of Kerala opened on the 1st of November after a gap of nearly 2 years. As in the case of last year, this year too, the academic sessions of the state started in virtual mode. The formal commencement of the school year, the Praveshanotsavam, was also held virtually. Once again, the children started to imbibe their lessons from online classes. They traversed the textbooks in the virtual company of their friends they haven't seen physically for months. After the online sessions, they assembled in virtual classrooms. They interacted with their teachers and friends through the 5-inch frames of their mobile phones. The world was adapting itself. So was the education system. The pandemic was spreading in many waves. The schools remained closed for months. But the whole education system worked dawn until dusk for preventing every kind of disruption to the education of the learners. This year, the digital divide was not a big worry in Kerala. The digital gap of children was identified in all possible ways. The gaps were bridged with the support of the government and the community. A special fundraising initiative by the Chief Minister was also started for this purpose. It is called Vidya Kiranam. Thousands of learners got tablets and mobile phones under the scheme. Thus, Kerala excelled among other states in digital coverage. The annual status report 2021 acknowledges this fact. This year's first bell online classes started with a difference. Before commencing the unit-related classes, the first 2 weeks were specially reserved for bridging the learning gaps. After a quick review of the previous year's concepts, regular online classes were started. Along with online telecast of classes, teachers also conducted online classes regularly. This year, a customized version of the G Suite was used for this purpose. Training on the usage of the G Suite platform was given to teachers before the onset of virtual classes. All the teachers reached out to their learners using new media and online platforms. Class-wise activity books were prepared, printed, and supplied to every learner. Engaging the learners in pleasure reading was another goal the state accomplished this year. Books for reading were made available to every elementary learner. Samagra Shiksha Kerala printed 3 books for this, 2 in regional languages and 1 in English. These books were delivered to the houses of every elementary learner. This drive had a community-level extension too. Teachers and parental organizations collected more books from society. The books thus collected were also supplied to the children. Thus, every house of elementary learners became equipped with a home library. This program, titled A Library at Home, was realized in that way. While normal schooling remained paralyzed, classroom-based instruction went on uninterrupted at several special centers of the state. Local resource centers and Uru Vidya Kendras were those special centers. These parallel learning centers are special initiatives of Samagra Shiksha Kerala for supporting the learning of tribal and other backward classes. Adhering to strict social distancing norms and health protocols, these centers have been functioning offline since June 2020. Through this, Samagra Shiksha Kerala could provide additional offline learning support to a number of children belonging to socially and economically backward classes. 698 local resource centers and 48 Uru Vidya Kendras functioned in the state did that job well. Samagra Shiksha always gives special attention to the education of children with special needs. Streaming of adapted online classes has been continuing this year also. The IED wing of Samagra Shiksha has a dedicated YouTube channel and a website for this purpose. The streaming of the adapted classes is called the Whiteboard. Separate video classes were produced for each category of CWSN. Special educators download the videos from the YouTube and they are delivered to the category-wise WhatsApp groups along with necessary instructions. Beyond the Windows is an online interactive program initiated by SSK this year. This is designed for mitigating the emotional stress of the differently abled and for keeping them mentally healthy. This twinning program was a great support mechanism for keeping the CWSN mentally sound and creatively engaging. Differently abled learners actually need additional individual care and adapted support. For this purpose, Samagra Shiksha Kerala started special care centers at every cluster center. In these centers, special educators extend personal care and learning support to the CWSN. In addition to this, they give orientation on therapy methods and daily living skill development to the parents of bedridden children. Samagra Shiksha Kerala could accomplish several quality-enhancing programs during the pandemic. The prestigious quality program Hello English reached the learners in the form of a learning web portal. The portal contains a level-specific repository of stories, animations, and songs. The learners can listen, watch, and read them according to their choice and interest. In addition to this, Samagra Shiksha has published a number of English books for extra reading. The Hello English storybook for kids will soon be delivered to the school libraries. This academic year witnessed the emergence of numerous kid writers. Selected stories written by talented learners have also been published by SSK. These books will soon be delivered to the school libraries. In addition to regional languages, the books were also published in Hindi and English. As part of foundational literacy, Samagra Shiksha Kerala has launched an intensive literacy development campaign titled Vayana Changatham. This program envisages basic language skills for children studying in classes 1 to 5, activities to facilitate reading using specially prepared reading cards, setting up home libraries at the learners' homes, engaging parents in the reading drive, conducting special writing workshops for learners and parents, etc., were some of the key features of the program. Ullasa Ganitam, that means joyful mathematics, is this year's initiative under foundational numeracy. The program was envisaged as a joyful and activity-oriented engagement that promotes non-conscious learning of numerical concepts. Activity packages to be followed at home and in classrooms were prepared separately. Maths kits for the activities were made available to the schools as well as individual learners. Transforming pre-primary schools on par with international levels is taken seriously by the state education departments. For this, Samagra Shiksha Kerala has started setting up development conducive activity areas in all primary schools. In the year 2021-22, as a pilot, one pre-primary school from each district has been allotted for the purpose. Theme-based learning atmosphere supported by child-friendly equipment was another highlight. The changing faces of these preschools have created much enthusiasm and expectation among educational functionaries. During the COVID pandemic, children were the most mentally affected community. They were confined to their domestic environment. Their education was disrupted. The absence of normal schooling badly affected the development of their social skills. With the support of UNICEF, Samagra Shiksha conducted special sessions on stress management in every BRC. This program is called Ati Jeevanam, that means the survival. Sessions were handled by professional psychologists and trained counselors. These sessions were initiated just before the opening of schools in November. Around 4,000 learners in the secondary section got the benefits of the program. On-job training programs, an inevitable part of vocational education, were totally stalled because of COVID-19. At this point, Samagra Shiksha Kerala came up with the idea of online interaction with experts and virtual industrial visits. Around 6,000 online interactive sessions were conducted over the year. Though it lacked the ambience of hands-on experience, virtual tours to industries were a novel experience for the vocational students. Three waves of the COVID pandemic, lockdowns, social exclusions, uncertainties and anxieties, delayed schooling, decreased socialization. Amid these adversities, the education process of the state is pacing up, exploring new vistas and developing novel strategies with innovative adaptations to make the teaching-learning process more creative and enduring.